Good morning, everybody. I think I should thank Mr. Sampath for calling me first, because all of us here are veterans of Dubai. And if all of them finish speaking, then they would be talking whatever I have prepared, then all my preparation would be waste. So hopefully I will try to cover as much as possible and then leave something for them so that when they come, they're also able to speak about Dubai. Firstly, today is a weekday. It's actually the beginning of the week, so maybe it will not be possible for everybody to come here and attend this session. But I'm grateful and I'm pleasantly surprised that we have quite a few number of people, quite a good number of people here in the auditorium. So I should thank you for all being here. This today being the first day of the week. Before I talk about the topic, because I have an opportunity to speak, today I'm here also as the chairman of the reception committee for this conference. I must, confess that my role has not been that much in this organizing the whole thing. So when people come and congratulate or even felicitate us, I would like to say that all this credit goes to Mr. Sampath, who has been the real person who has organized this one. It is just that he gave us an opportunity to host this one in Dubai, and what we gave him was encouragement and support, but the rest of the efforts and everything has been done by him. I think the previous speaker in the previous session said he's a one-man army. He is a major general, or he is a brigadier general or something like that, I guess. But he also rules with an iron hand. So I think the term one-man army is very apt for him. So anyway, thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to host. As I said, the entire credit for this conference should definitely go to you. And we are here to support you and to encourage you, and which I hope we have done a good job at that. So he has made our job very easy. And even in giving, in the various sessions that we have had, he could have given me a session like financial services or legal or something which is very complicated, but he chose to give me a topic which is quite easy. Having been lived here for the last 35-40 years, talking about Dubai is not that difficult for me, and so he's also made my job easy by giving me a topic which is close to my heart and which is also easy and where I can even talk extempore rather than with extensive prepared speech. My Dubai journey started in 1987. I came here just immediately after finishing my studies in the US. I did my MBA there, and I came here not by choice, but more by chance. Actually, given an opportunity, I would have liked to have stayed behind in the US and then worked there. But we had a family organization here, and it was my uncle who insisted that I come back here and then start in the company. So it was more by, I should say, by chance than by choice that we came here. But today, and of course when we came in those days in 87, it was not as developed as this one. Certainly America, when I lived in New York, was much more advanced, more developed. And so it was actually, we were coming back in time when we were coming to Dubai. Today, of course, my children live in the US for studies and otherwise. When we go to the US, I think we are going back in time when we go to the US. Dubai is much more advanced than most countries in the world, most cities in the world. And people now who are making the transition from wherever they are to come to Dubai, they're doing it by choice. In fact, they could choose to live anywhere in the world, but they're moving to Dubai by choice because of the various things that Dubai has to offer, which I will tell you. But just from India alone, during the pandemic, during the COVID time, and I have good friends in the banking industry who are, private wealth managers, there were 2,000 ultra high net worth individuals who moved from India, various cities of India, to Dubai, just to call Dubai their home. And these are not your average ordinary people. These are the ultra high net worth individuals who actually moved from India to Dubai, especially during the COVID times. Two reasons. One was the infrastructure and the facilities which are available in Dubai. And the second is, remote working became a reality. You did not have to work in one place and then live in the same place. You can live in Dubai, you can work in, even in the Far East, you can work in New York, wherever. In fact, during the pandemic time, there was an article in one of the newspapers here that there was a judge from US, from Florida, who was living in Dubai because of two reasons. One was, Dubai, we only had a shutdown for about 3 weeks. That was the only time that Dubai was entirely closed. At the end of 3 weeks, the Dubai government took a decision that, we will have an open, regime here. If people fall sick, we will give them adequate medical facilities. But we're not going to shut down the economy. We're not going to shut down the general movement, free movement of people, just because there is the pandemic. We said, let us have all the facilities that are required to treat people, but not necessarily restrict their movement, their activities, their businesses, etc. And this was actually a very wise policy because at the end of the day, even those countries where there was strict movement control regulations, a lot of curbs and so forth, even those countries, there was no, dearth of any COVID cases. If you look at Singapore, which had one of the toughest regimes in terms of the restrictions, there wasn't any dearth of COVID cases. They were having 2,000 cases, 3,000 cases, and so forth. So we did extremely well in terms of COVID management, and that actually gave a big fillip, a big boost to Dubai as a city, wherein, not only people from India or the subcontinent, but even people from Europe and other people and other places came here, and then they wanted to, first they came here just to get a break from their cities or their countries where there were some restrictions. But once they came here and they saw the facilities here and the lifestyle here, they chose to live here and then work remotely from here. So in terms of in Dubai, we have a lot of advantages. Let me just list out the advantages that we have. One is the geographical advantage. It actually is in the middle of, I would say, the east and the west. From here to London, it is, or to anywhere in Europe, it is 7 hours. Even to the US, it is only about 13 to 14 hours. Similarly, to Hong Kong and to Singapore, to the Asian, capitals, we are having 7 to 8 hours in terms of flight. So you are actually in the center where you can, somebody having business both in Europe, US, and the Far East can, be only 6 to 7 hours away in terms of the time zones. And so you can also do business according to the time zones of those countries. Second is connectivity. Today, connectivity means that, you can reach anywhere the same day and even come back the same day if required. To India, of course, there are, between the various airlines that you have operating out of Dubai, to India, per se, there are more than 200 flights a week. So you could go anywhere in India, you could go there, attend a business meeting, and come back the same day. That kind of a connectivity is there, and it's not just for India. It is also for any city, any major city in the world is connected from Dubai by at least 3 to 4 flights a day. So the question of being remote doesn't really exist. You can go anywhere, you can do your business and come back. Then you have the ports. UAE has got several ports, from Jabal Ali to Port Rashid to Fujairah to Al Quwain to Ajman and Abu Dhabi. So any shipment which is there, especially for people who are in trade, which is a big business in UAE, the port connectivity is there for even for transliners and for container, transshipments. And the only thing which was missing here was the rail network. Now the rail network also is now getting ready. We already have a rail network for movement of cargo from Habshan to Ruwais, but this is being extended all the way up to Fujairah and then onwards to Oman, and similarly it will be extended to Saudi Arabia as well. So you have an extensive rail network which is going to be in place both for movement of cargo as well as for passengers. In terms of telecommunication, we have one of the, let's say, more dynamic telecommunication networks in the world. We have two telecom operators with 4G, 5G network. So seamless connectivity with the rest of the world is possible. Our logistics, especially which is very important for trade, is again a seamless connection with the rest of the world with efficient ports, and as I mentioned earlier, the container and transshipments. Then coming to the banking and financial services industry, we have an extensive, very solid, banking and financial services industry in place in the UAE. We have a Dubai International Financial Center, which hosts all the major banks in the world with their own trade desks, and as well as private wealth management for high net worth and other individuals. So, which is established on the lines of the financial services industries in New York and in London. So today, Dubai is also emerging as one of the a leading financial services center on par with Hong Kong, Singapore, London and New York. To make it easy, for ease of business, we have a number of free zones in the country which operate 100% with the foreign ownership and without any, with less cumbersome regulatory network. The free zones are easy to operate from, and we have several free zones within the country, which actually compete with each other in terms of their fees and in terms of the facilities they're offering. Free zone companies are exempt from corporate taxes as well, and here there are no personal taxes, no personal income taxes, and the corporate tax regime which is going to be introduced here is only minimal 9%, and that it will be effective from the later part of this year. Our VAT is one of the lowest in the world at 5% VAT taxation, and 5% being the customs duty. And earlier on, we had a regime where the onshore companies, as opposed to the offshore companies, had to have a 51% local partnership and a 49% foreign ownership. Today, even that regime has changed, so you can have onshore companies with 100% foreign ownership as well. So your business environment is one of the most ideal environments anywhere in the world for somebody to operate out of. And when I say Dubai, actually by extension you can consider the UAE. When I say Dubai, Sharjah, all the 7 Emirates have got similar things in place where you could have a business environment which is on par with, or not on par, I would say, better than most countries in the world. In terms of living here, so one, you have the business environment, but in terms of living here, today the visa regime is such that you could have a golden visa, which is gives you a right of abode for 10 years. And not just that one, earlier on we used to have a regulation that you have to come and go every 6 months, but even that regulation is not there. So which means if you have a golden visa, you pretty much have a right of abode here, and you can come and go as you please without any restriction in terms of how many days you have to stay here or how frequent you have to visit the country. And you also have similar visas as well, silver visa and other employment visas and other visas. So the visa regime is such that you can easily migrate to Dubai and call Dubai your home. And why do you have to call Dubai your home? Because there is good world-class healthcare, there is world-class education, and safety and security, which is unparalleled. The people say that here in this country you could walk in the night at 2 o'clock, without anything, the fear of getting mugged and so forth. In Dubai, it's a given. Anybody can go anywhere at any time of the day or night without the fear of being, robbed, mugged, whatever. We have such excellent security and safety in place, which is, I would say, unparalleled anywhere else in any big major metropolis. Similarly, when you have safety and security, look for healthcare. We have some of the best healthcare institutions in the world here. Even American healthcare institutions like Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, such kind of world-renowned facilities are also here. And apart from that, the other facilities as well. In terms of education, both in secondary education, primary education, as well as college, you have some of the best best educational institutions in the country. In fact, all my children went to school here and college here, and we also have, the famous New York University as well in Abu Dhabi. And similarly, there are so many other, institutions. And a lot of institutions from India as well. You have the BITS Pilani, you have Mahe Manipal, and so forth. So you have a good living environment, you have a business environment where you can establish your businesses and then you could, prosper. But what is the trade between the India and the UAE? UAE is India's third largest trading partner, and today UAE and India have also formed what is known as the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, in which currently the trade between India and UAE stands at about $48 billion. Within the next 5 years, the objective is to increase it to about $100 billion US, both in movement of goods and $15 billion in movement of services. And this will actually be almost a year-on-year growth of 20 to 25%. And already the effect of the SEPA is seen, where in the last 1 year, we've had an increase of 20% in the growth of trade between India and the UAE. What is the SEPA? Basically, it is reduction of tariffs and customs duties on a number of products like footwear, leather, pharmaceuticals, gems, jewelry, sports goods, agricultural products, engineering products, and medical devices, etc. And specifically, if you look at Tamil Nadu, we have good leather industry who can benefit by this one. I think you have pharmaceutical, you have textiles. So all of these industries which are concentrated in Tamil Nadu. In fact, in India, Tamil Nadu is one of the highest industrialized state. So all these industries which are there in Tamil Nadu will certainly benefit from this comprehensive economic partnership agreement that we have with UAE. And as the trade grows, there will be more movement of people from between India and the UAE, more people coming here, and more people calling Dubai their home. And I'm sure that the delegates who are here will be able to take advantage of what Dubai has to offer and make Dubai a destination for them to come here and live. I'm also supposed to talk about the rest of the Middle East as well. So just to give you a brief idea about the rest of the Middle East, it's not just Dubai which is moving ahead. But Dubai has been a forerunner, has been an example for the Middle East. But looking at the Dubai example, today we have got Saudi Arabia, which is a much bigger economy than UAE, a much larger population than UAE, which is again, moving at a tremendous speed and wants to grow, multifold, because they've also been stagnant for the last several years. So they're just opening up their economy, and they have what is known as the Vision 2030. As part of the Vision 2030, they have got several new cities coming up, several new projects coming up. Just one of the projects, NEOM, alone is a $500 billion is the capital outlay for this one project. And similarly, you have so many other projects. You have the Red Sea project, you have Middle East Green Initiative. Several transformative things are happening in Saudi Arabia. And even for somebody who wants to, let's say, take part in the development of Saudi Arabia, they can stay here, be in Dubai, and then they could even reach out to Saudi and then participate in what is happening in Saudi. Over $1 trillion to be spent over the next 2 decades. And this is a huge opportunity for our businessmen to participate in and be a part of. Similarly, we have Qatar, which recently hosted the FIFA. Qatar again is a smaller economy, a smaller country, but then again has got limitless opportunities for Indian businesses. And eventually what will happen is that most countries in the Middle East will follow the Dubai model, will open up their cities, their countries to businessmen who want to come in for employment opportunities, because at the end of the day, they have a shortcoming in terms of local manpower. They need to necessarily have expatriate manpower, expatriate businessmen to come and contribute to their economy. And who better to contribute to their economy than Indians in all these economies? So with that, I would leave the opportunity for my fellow panelists to speak. Thank you very much again for this opportunity, Dr. Sampath, and I hope my fellow panelists will be able to share more light on this topic. Thank you so much.